Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It is the return of the Saturday Superstream, and we'd better get right into it because we've already had a game last night in the Championship. We've already had a game in the Premier League and in the Championship today. Let's just quickly look at the live Championship table. So going into the 3 p.m.s, it was Fulham drew 1-1 at Preston. So we're definitely spotting a slowdown there in the top three. Look, West Brom 3 points from 4. Bournemouth 4 points from 4, but they're due to kick off, obviously, in 30 minutes or so. Fulham, 2 points from 2. Fulham, I guess, the only ones they're not losing games. Still nicely over the 2 point per game ratio for Fulham up the top there, and Bournemouth as well. But there is a little slowdown. We have to admit that. Let's just have a quick look. Obviously, we'll deal with all of these properly in the review show. Last night, West Brom 0, Forest 0. Forest only 1 shot on target, but remember, red card to West Brom. At what point did Mollenby get sent off? 70th minute there. Today, I'm sure, look, we'll talk at length, especially about that Preston goal, which was a little bit of an interesting one, wasn't it? But we'll get into that tomorrow. 1-1 between Preston and Fulham. Although it looks like Preston were pretty decent. Obviously, you then have to parlay that into quite how they got their goal. So that's how things are looking right now in the Championship. Let's just quickly reflect, especially with our views on the Championship, on another defeat for Newcastle, who, as the weeks go on, get more and more and more in trouble in terms of looking at that trap door out of the Premier League. Still haven't won a game after 13. That's Eddie Howe's second game, isn't it? 0 wins in that column, 6 points on the board. They're 5 points adrift. Obviously, now they've played a game more than everybody else, Newcastle. And I don't know, someone will tell me in the chat how many games Newcastle will have played when the transfer window opens, because that's when we think the Saudi money might actually change something there at Newcastle. But yeah, they're banging trouble, aren't they? Less than half a point per game so far for Newcastle. Arsenal 5th. Obviously, actually, no, they're going nowhere. Look, 4 point gap. So Arsenal will finish the weekend up in 5th position there with a minus goal difference. Interestingly enough, the Gunners, if I'm reading the right part of the column there. So there we go. Those are our results so far. West Brom 0, Forest 0, Preston 1, Fulham 1. And in the Premier League, Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Let's say some hellos. Crikey, there's lots of you here. Kieran, Dan, Leeds 2021, Lee, Ash, Ewan, Iain, Mr. E, Anna, David, Fulham. Well played, ref, right here. Mike, Campbell starts. Bit of a team news spoiler there, but we'll get into that very soon. Liam, Alistair, Napper's mum. Lots of hellos here. I think we already said hi to Dan. Toby as well. 3-1 Wolves today. Right, well, let's get into this. Apologies if I hadn't said hello to you, but I always get round to 3 o'clock and we haven't looked at all of the team news. Let's go Championship first then. And we'll start with Bournemouth, who can go top of the table, of course, if they can defeat Coventry. Oh, and look, the return of Steve Cook for Bournemouth. That feels like it's been a while, doesn't it? Trevor's in goal for Bournemouth. Actually, they haven't gone 3 at the back. They've got Jeff Lerma in the back 3 there. Not quite right, I don't think, there. Let's try and rejig that Bournemouth team on the hoof here. So, yeah, Cook and Mepham, centre-back. Stacey will definitely be the right-back. Who's playing left-back then? Oh, I can't figure this one out for Bournemouth. Someone will help me out. Lewis Cook. So both the Cooks back, incidentally, there. Kilkenny, Billing, Christie, Solanke, Anthony. I can't seem to find 2 centre-backs and a left-back in that team, but There we go. For Coventry, who, let's not make this all about Bournemouth, could go up to third with a win today. Best case scenario for Cov. Moore in goal, Iain, McFadzean, Darboe, Matson, Kane, Kelly, Sheaf, O'Hare, Allen, and Godden. Let's move on and try and move through these nice and quickly for you. So QPR are also in the same boat as Coventry in that they could go up to third, and they don't play till Monday. So I'll keep my powder dry and move on to Stoke, who, looking at the goal difference, aren't going to go above West Brom today, but could go level on points with a win over Blackburn, who are, I think Blackburn are second in the form table, aren't they, if my memory serves me correctly. Stoke, Davies in goal, Wilmot, Bart, Chester. How many different back threes have Stoke tried now? And they're going to have to find one that works without Suter, aren't they? Smith, no, Timon, Fox in. Oh, yes, there is Timon there. Going to play a cross in the middle, is he? I think Joe Allen must be suspended, mustn't he? Vrancic, Timon, Sawyers, then we think with Fox and Smith, wing backs. Brown, and look at that, Stoke fans there. Tyrese Campbell starts his first game in what must be about a year, mustn't it? Someone will give me the correct number there. For Blackburn, who, as we say, are in good nick, aren't they? Kaminsky, Lenihan, Van Heck, Wharton, Pickering, Nyambe, Travis Rothwell, Buckley, Cadra, Brereton, Diaz. We'll play first goal in a bit. I just want to rattle through all of the team news. Remember, with the fact that we've already had 2 games and there is a game on Sunday and a game on Monday as well. We've only got 8 championship games in the 3 PMs. Iain, could Newcastle become the richest second-tier club in history? If they go down, they'll definitely be the richest second-tier club, won't they? Yeah, that could be highly interesting, couldn't it? Wonder how many points they'd score with that money in the championship. But there we go. Right, Huddersfield versus Borough. Let me just give you the upside here for Huddersfield, because Stoke and Blackburn are playing each other. A win could well put them above one or other. Goal difference very, very tight between Huddersfield and Stoke. As you can see, they're +4, +1. If you get a defeat one way, a win the other way, that closes up. But hey, we're playing best case scenario, aren't we? Huddersfield there, Nichols in goal, Pearson, Lee, Sarr, Toffolo, Thomas, O'Brien, High, Holmes, Ward, Sinani. Chris Wilder's still looking for his first victory as Middlesbrough manager. Daniels in goal, McNair, Bamber, Dykesteel, Boller, Jones, Crooks, House and Tavernier, Watmore and Sporer. Lots of comments on Newcastle here. Can Newcastle actually survive? They cannot just go and buy Mbappe, Haaland, Ronaldo. That's quite amusing, actually, TD5, because what Newcastle could do if they get relegated is not be under jurisdiction, in that they could get relegated to the Championship, spend £400 million. Obviously, you can only lose 13 million a season. Get promoted, have the players that they spent 400 million on, and not be under Championship jurisdiction for FFP when they go up. Is this the master plan? Sean is a very kind man. Thank you, Sean. He's super chatted loads of times. Sean, you're a legend. €10. Thanks, boss. Sean, hello, Ben, as usual. Great content and great kindness from you, Sean, as ever, you legend. Marching on together there, Sean's Leeds play at 5:30 down at Brighton. I'm sure plenty of you are going to be watching that on Sky Sports later on. In terms of the FFP discussion on Newcastle, the big thing they've got is that they've been in profit the last few years. And remember, the 3-year rolling limit, I don't actually know what it is, but it's way, way higher in the Premier League. So they are going to spend a fair old chunk of change, we all think, in January. Right, let's talk Swansea, who are in 9th. And I think we were fairly certain across the board, weren't we? They're playing Reading, who are not in good nick. That there's a good chance of a home win here. Championship, everybody. Throw that caveat in. Hamer in goal for Swans. Bennett, Norton, Williams. Manning, Laird. Grimes of the new contract, Smith, Nitcham, Patterson, Piero. For Reading, Southwood, Yidam, Rahman, Dan and Holmes. Swap Rahman and Holmes over. They're in the wrong place there, aren't they? Drinkwater, Laurent Swift centrally. I don't know how they're going to figure this. Halilovic, Deli Bashiru. Feels like they've got a few players who like to all come centrally there, don't they, Reading? Andy Carroll starts up top for the Royals. David, another channel legend, £5 on the Super Chat. All right, mate. I'm all right, Dave. Who've Watford got today, or do they play tomorrow? Dave, you will know from last season, sponsored the Saturday Superstream. He's off swanning it in the Premier League with Watford, but great to hear from you, Dave. And thank you very, very much for the Super Chat. Another very kind fella. Let's move on. Let's talk Millwall, who play at Hull. Heroic Hull, we need to call them. We've won 3 games on the bounce, haven't they? Incredible run by Hull. And I believe my go-to stat for that is they scored 9 points in the first 16 games and then 9 points in the next 3 games. Incredible upturn, spike in the points per game. There's your Hull team. Baxter, Greaves, McLaughlin, Bernard, Lewis, Potter, Longman, Doherty, Smallwood, Honeyman, Wilkes and McGuinness. For Millwall, who are hard to beat, aren't they? Only 4 defeats for Millwall this season. Thank you, Annie. Watford tomorrow away at Leicester. I seem to be at Leicester every other week at the moment, don't I? Millwall, Bart in goal, Ballard, Hutchison, Wallace, Ojo, McNamara, Saville, Mitchell, Wallace, Bradshaw and Afobe. So maybe Wallace in the 10 off Bradshaw and Afobe. We'll see how conservative Mr. Rowett is feeling today. Upside for Millwall could go as high as 7th. But they would need a decent-sized win and a decent-sized defeat for Blackburn. But hey, we're not into goal difference mode yet, are we? It's not that time of the season. Let's talk Blackpool, who visit Birmingham. Let's have a look at the team news. Keep comments coming in, guys, on anything we are saying here. Sarkic in goal for Blues. Again, SofaScores had an absolute nightmare there. Oh, good luck me getting to the bottom of this. So, Sanderson, Pedersen, and Roberts will be the centre backs. Bella will probably play wing back. Jordan James, I need a Birmingham fan to help me out with that one. Sunjic and McGree centrally. God, I don't know what. I suspect it'll be a 3 at the back with Hogan and Deeney up top. Any Birmingham fans in, help organise that formation. SofaScores had a mare there, hasn't it? Blackpool, Grimshaw in goal. Sterling, Ekpateta, husband James. Not that one. Dougal, Connolly, Mitchell, Anderson, Medine, Owen, Dale up top. Lavery did return, didn't he? But he's not starting today. We're going to keep it moving, guys. We're going to talk about Luton, who are at home to struggling Cardiff, who lost at home to Hull in the week. Luton of the ungodly good XG, but not taking their chances at the moment, the Hatters fans. Tell me, get comments on anything that comes up pre 3 p.m. There's your Luton team. Sluga returns in goal. Ray, Bradley, Lockyer, Bree, Bell, Clark, and Panzu, Naismith, Cornick, and I guess Adebayo as SofaScore refreshes in front of my very eyes. For Cardiff, Smithies, McGuinness, Morrison, Nelson, Giles and G, Park Rules, Colwell, Collins starts against his old club. Interesting one. That, I don't know whether that would be a popular goal if he puts in. I think he's still a popular player there. Kiefer Moore is your number 9 for the Bluebirds. Forest played last night. Preston have already played. We've already done Borough. Sheffield United play tomorrow. We've done Birmingham. Bristol City play tomorrow. We've done Hull. We've done Cardiff. We have not done the Titanic bottom 3 clash between Peterborough and Barnsley. What a arguably, I mean, maybe not in terms of it being very high up the table, arguably biggest game of the day in the Championship, may have far-reaching implications. Peterborough versus Barnsley. That is why 22nd and 23rd. Peterborough, there is your team for them. Cornell in goal. Butler, Edwards, Knight, and Thompson, Dembele, Taylor, Coventry, Burrows, Clark, Harris, Kai, Corbett. We think up top, although SofaScore is having a big old struggle, isn't it? Collins in goal. Williams, this is for Barnsley, by the way. Williams, Hellick, Anderson, Kitching. We think Poya Asbaghi likes himself a 4-3-3. It's second game running and second game in, and with a 4-3-3 there for Barnsley. Benson, Gomez, Styles, Morris, Woodrow, Coyle up top. How long will it take Asbaghi to get his ideas across to his Barnsley players? Time is not on their side. Barnsley struggling there down in the bottom three. Let's talk about the Premier League. Get your comments in. One of our dearly departed here is Aston Villa. They visit Crystal Palace. It is the first away game here for Stevie Gerrard. There is his team. Martinez in goal. Cash, Konza, Mings, target. Settled back five that Villa used last season. McGinn, Nakamba. Here is his configuration up front here. Bailey, Ramsey, Young and Watkins. I suspect that's more like a 4-3-3 with Ramsey not necessarily in a number 10 position. Apologies, your comments all froze there, and loads and loads of comments had just come through. My bad. I'll read all of them in a second. I'll try and do as many as I can. Palace, Gaita in goal. Mitchell, Gay, Tompkins, Ward, Koyate, Milivojevic, Gallagher, Elise, Benteke and Zaha. We'll be reviewing that one on Dearly Departed on, well, maybe some point tomorrow afternoon. We'll try and fit that one in to the hectic schedule. Let's move on. Just get through these Premier League fixtures and then we can get into the comments a little bit more. We'll do Liverpool, Southampton very, very quickly because we don't have a Dearly Departed team in that one. Liverpool there, star-studded team. Alisson, Trent, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Thiago. What about that goal by Thiago in the Champions League? Hey, Fabinho, Henderson, Salah, Jota, Mane. What a brilliant team Liverpool have got. Southampton, McCarthy, Bednarek, Lianco, Salusu, Livramento, who's very good, isn't he? Perro, Romeo, Ward-Prowse, who's also very good with my England hat on. Broya, Adams and Armstrong. Front three away at Liverpool. Interesting. Good luck, Southampton, today is all I can say. I'm a big fan of Liverpool, having seen them in the flesh this season against Watford. Don't tell Dave, because they lost 5-0 in that game, didn't they? Right, Norwich are one of our dearly departed. And, well, Hull and Norwich are having a little game of their own in surprising me. Hull have done the 3 straight wins. Can Norwich do the 3 straight wins? What a run that would be. They were without a win before that run, weren't they, Norwich? Here is Dean Smith's second lineup as Norwich manager. Krull in goal. Williams, Gibson, Hanley, Aarons, McLean, Norman, Gilmore, Sargent, Pookie, Rasica. I don't know if we've got any Norwich fans. I don't see Toby. I think I saw Russ in there. I guess that's unchanged. Someone will correct me if it's not. Let me know if it's not. Wolves, Sarr in goal. Killman, Cody, Saiz, Semedo, Nuri, Moutinho, Neves, Trincao, Jimenez, and Huang. Let's just have a look at the Premier League table as it pertains to our dearly departed teams. So we've got Norwich and Villa playing in the 3 p.m s. Norwich, well, they're not going to go out of the bottom 3, are they? But a 3rd straight win would be just what the doctor ordered. But yeah, look at the goal difference. For Villa, 16 points. They could, yeah, and Palace is the team that they're playing. Goal difference doesn't factor well in Villa's favour as well. Our other dearly departed teams, let me just throw this out there. Playing tomorrow. So we've got Leeds playing at Brighton late. We've got Brentford play Everton and Watford play Leicester. That's the rest of the dearly departed. We'll catch up on all of that. Sargent in for Campbell. There you go. Thank you, Chris. One change for Norwich. Thanks for that, Ben. There was a ticket going for United. Oof. How was that, David? 4-1. Watford doing the dearly departed. Proud there. Yeah, thank you, Sargent in for Campbell. Oliver, Norwich, the first team to have an old manager bounce and a new manager bounce. They did it. Unbelievable scenes. Although, what was the one that had the caretaker manager bounce, the old manager bounce, and the new manager bounce? There you go. What a load of nonsense, eh? Let's have a look at League One. How are we doing for time? We're doing well. 9 minutes to 3. Keep your comments coming in and we'll react to all of the goals as they go in. So, in League One, you'll be pleased to know that Ipswich aren't playing. So, no pain for me today. Ipswich play Crewe tomorrow. My boys, that's struggling down in 13th in the table. What are you going to do, hey? Let's just run through the fixtures. You can see Rotherham's win at Ipswich puts them up there. Look at that, Rotherham and Wycombe. They just do the business in League One, those two, don't they? So today, Wimbledon versus Fleetwood. Simon Grayson out of Fleetwood in midweek. Bolton versus Cheltenham. Burton versus Doncaster. Cambridge versus Sunderland. I think that's the first top 6 team we have mentioned there. Sunderland on a bad run, but hey, then they beat Ipswich, didn't they? Gillingham versus Pompey. Litcombe versus Accrington. Morecambe versus MK. MK have dropped out of the top 6, but looking to get back in. Oxford versus Rotherham. What a good game that should be. What have we got there? Rotherham obviously top. Oxford are a decent side, though. Look at that as well. 13 points in 5 for both of those sides. That looks like the match of the day in League One. Oxford versus Rotherham. And then when I say that, look, Plymouth versus Wigan. Maybe not. 3rd versus 4th. Going to be a fun day in League One with 2 all top 7 clashes there. Looking forward to seeing how both of those pan out. Oh, hello. Sheffield Wednesday versus Wycombe as well. All eyes on League One at the moment. Brilliant day of matchups there down in the 3rd tier. Shrewsbury versus Charlton. And my lot, Ipswich at home to Crewe. Look at that. Crewe are bottom of the league. Ipswich playing them at home. Nothing to worry about. Hey, lads. There we go. Right. Let's have a look at some of your comments. And give me a shout. First goal. I don't need a goal scorer. I don't need a team. Just a stadium. Where do we think the first goal in the 3 PMs is coming, everybody in the chat? Just give me a stadium. I don't need a goal scorer or a team. Let's go to some comments. Let's scroll up here. Claudio Ranieri returns to the King Power. Yes, he does. Tomorrow. Has he been back? Did he go back with Fulham? He wasn't there very long, was he? David, missing the Birmingham game, had a ticket, decided against travel. Well, stick with us today then, David. Adrian, looking forward to be featured on this channel and not next year. Adrian's a Newcastle fan. Eddie Howe taking us back up. We suspect that if Newcastle, the worst does happen this season, and they do go down. Last 2 times in the Championship, Newcastle, have they got 100 points both times? Rafa and Chris Hughton? No. Hughton got 100 points. Rafa just got the 94. So nearly 200 points. Ewan, Norwich and Ipswich will both win this weekend. Prophecy from Ewan. Iain, Blackpool are a club that we should aspire to. If we Millers go up again, genuinely, I think we'd survive comfortably. Well, proof is in the pudding. That's the next stage for Rotherham, isn't it? Owen, long time no see. Welcome along, my friend. Hit the like button. Yeah, I didn't do any of the plugs, Andy. Where's first goal coming? Where is the first goal coming? Let me know. Carrow, St Andrews, Selhurst, KCOM. It's called the MCM now, isn't it? MKM? What's the whole stadium called now? Carrow. Are Ipswich on TV tomorrow? No, they're not, Chris, annoyingly. I don't know if you can be on iFollow on Sunday, but no, they're on a Sunday, but not on TV. Are they on the red button, maybe? No, because Sheffield United and Bristol City are. So, no, I don't think they are. Anfield, Bet365, Bournemouth, Selhurst, Kenilworth, Selhurst, Priestfield, Bournemouth, Kenny. Anyone else? Predictions here. Racecourse, MKM, Millwall's Way. That's the MKM, isn't it? Amex, Vitality, Anfield. There you go. Remember, if you get it right, there will likely be a goal in the first 2-3 minutes. Remember, guys, the odds are it's in League One because we've got 11 League One games. I think we've got 8 Championship games. How many Premier League games have we got? Only the 3. So all eyes on League One and some great fixtures in there with Wigan and Plymouth and Rotherham and Oxford and all sorts going on. Let me know your expectations for your teams today. Sky Sports are just flashing around the grounds as we speak, 2:56 p.m. This is the Saturday Superstream. Quick plug, obviously, keep your comments coming in. That's the whole stream. That's the show, as they say. I need your comments as we go. I have 95% on my iPhone, so we'll put that there so we can see goal notifications coming in. If you hear before I do, please get your goal notifications in the chat. Any fake ones, I will put you in the sin bin for 5 minutes. We want to be there with the news, reacting nice and quick, but some people like to think that it's fun to put inaccurate, made-up goals in. So let's not be doing that. I know sometimes some of the subscribers are listening on the radio and they do get them quicker than on the app or than Jeff gets them on Sky Sports. So Jeff Sterling, what a man on his victory lap here. The farewell tour for Jeff. What a legend he's been on Saturday afternoons. That last show is going to be an emotional one, isn't it, at the end of the season for good old Jeff Sterling. Please hit like if you're watching the stream now. And, of course, hit the subscribe button. We finally, for God's sake, I need to get Shaylee to redo the 15,000 plaque there because we got 20,000 subscribers. Now, it's been a long time coming. Thank you, each and every one of you. If you're watching now and you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Even if you don't really use subscriptions on YouTube, just hit subscribe. It helps me out, helps the channel out. You can support via Super Chat and Super Stickers as well financially. This will always be free here on YouTube, but you can help support me as we grow. And we've made it a part-time pursuit now. Wouldn't it be great if this was a full-time pursuit? Thank you already to Sean and Dave who have Super Chatted already. Lovely, kind people. You are legends. Let's have a look here. And what else are we saying? Paul is watching Palace and Villa. By the way, if by whatever means, guys, and I'm not judging anybody, you are able to watch a game this afternoon, let us know what's going on. If you're listening on the radio as well, let us know what's going on in your game. We love to hear. Keegan got us promoted. Yeah, Newcastle are the dons of the Championship. They don't mess around. What else are we saying in the chat here? Ben's Patreon. Well worth it, everyone. Yeah, I hadn't plugged it yet. Patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Shout outs if you are on Patreon. Q&A at the moment. We'll get that one up. Rob, Oldham a certainty to beat Salford, are they? Wasn't there a managerial change at Oldham this week? Ipswich on I follow tomorrow. Oh, goodness me. Can I avert my eyes? Sundays are just a mess for me now. Right, you've all let me know where you think the first goals are going to be. You'll have to mark your own homework there. I can't go back and check. Let me know if you do get it right. Woof. Andy, been watching you all season, only just subscribed. Well done, Andy. Legend. What is that? What cathedral is that or something in the background? Keith Curl, sacked. Yes. Chris, not paying to watch Ipswich. Yeah. If it's free, maybe. But, yeah, I think I'm going to be too busy. So, but to be fair, I think there'll be a lot of people do pay. Ipswich always do good numbers on the iFollow feeds. It is 3 p.m, guys. We are awaiting our first goal in any of our Saturday Superstream games. You've all placed your thoughts, and we're going to react wherever the action is happening. Remember, guys, we always get the glut, don't we? At some point, there will be 4 goals in 1 minute across our games. We always get a little bit of a lull at some point. Let's hope. Do you know what I'd like? Just nice, regular goals all afternoon. It never quite happens like that. Guys, Adrian, could Reading beat their new Swansea Stadium jinx today? I don't think so, Adrian, but I'll put my normal caveat in. It's the Championship. Who the hell knows? Newcastle v Norwich on Tuesday. That's a big game, especially if Norwich get a third straight win today. Rob, some Moroccan who's been doing a decent job with the youth team in Oldham. Interesting. Dave, up the Owls. There were some big games in League One. Again, 3 to really look out for in League One. You've got, we have our first goal of the day. Who said Anfield? I know there was a few of you. And quickly followed by our second goal. I don't know what order they went in because we got a goal for Birmingham against Blackpool. Oh, no, that's been disallowed. Okay, no debate here. Liverpool have taken the lead against Southampton. Liverpool 1, Southampton 0. Raise your hand in the chat if you said Anfield. I know there was a few of you because I remember reading it out a few times. Liverpool 1, Saints 0. We thought 3 up front there for Saints. Might have been a bit ambitious. Have they done the VAR check there? I think it's gone through. I've put it up on the screen. Liverpool 1, Saints 0. Diogo Jota, well done if you had Anfield as your location for the first goal. A few of you did, didn't you? I was just big. I don't know if anyone's watching Birmingham. I don't know what happened there. I got a disallowed goal come up as a notification on my phone there. Sometimes they're a bit sketchy, those notifications. But yeah, I did just want to big up League One today. Wednesday versus Wickham, Plymouth versus Wigan, and Oxford versus Rotherham. 3 real good fun games there in League One. All sort of top 7 clashes. All 3 of those. Let's just have a quick look at the Premier League live league table, and that Liverpool goal puts them temporarily 1 point behind Chelsea. Saints down in 14th. So good news for Villa there. Villa obviously being given a point because they're level 0-0 at the moment. So one of our dearly departed maybe moving up a place. Liverpool look like they're closing up on Chelsea today. Chelsea play Manchester United. Ooh, that'll be an interesting one. Tomorrow afternoon. 1 goal so far in the Superstream. Jota for Liverpool. And someone was just asking me about the curse of Reading against Swansea. Well, bad news on that regard because we think Swansea have taken the lead. Swansea 1, Reading 0. We think after 3 minutes in the Championship, Swansea 1, Reading 0. We'll await to hear more of that. And Liverpool took the lead on 2 minutes. Diogo Jota. Swansea in good form, aren't they? And we think they have taken the lead against Reading. We will await a goal scorer and confirmation there. 100% possession probably after 3 minutes, Anir. Jamie Patterson. He's having an excellent season. Patterson, the inside forward, number 10, ex-Bristol City player for Swansea, picked up on a free, having a very good season. Let's go to the live league table. And as things stand, Swansea will be moving to within 2 points of the playoffs. Remember, Stoke are playing Blackburn. So that works out well for Swansea as well because one or other of... let me stop exactly what I was saying because Reading have just equalised. So anything I was just going to say has been rendered irrelevant. We believe that Reading have equalised 1 minute after Swansea have scored. I think it's 1-1. So forget everything I was just saying. It is a good scenario for Swansea if they can get the win because one or other of Blackburn and Stoke, potentially both if they drop in points, that becomes irrelevant if Swansea don't win, though, doesn't it? And we think Reading have just equalised 2 goals in the first 4 minutes in Swansea versus Reading. I think Sue Smith has just done that one. I'm just awaiting a goal scorer. Tom Deli Bashiru is the goal scorer. So, Worth, anyone have both teams to score? In Swansea versus Reading. Worth. Anir. Ben, do you have anything to say to YouTube who are asking me to take a break? Anna, I think you know exactly what I'm going to say to YouTube. That you should absolutely not take a break. They're besmirching your honour and your character by assuming that you can't watch 10 hours of YouTube today. So, yeah, that's what I've got to say. Those notifications always come up, don't they? Ready equalised 4 minutes. Incredible. Woof. Right, ignore what I just said. Yeah, there's a lot of that at the moment. We were just pontificating on what Swansea taking the lead was going to mean. And they took the lead and conceded an equaliser straight afterwards. Did I update the ticker with that one? I don't think. Oh, yes, I did. There you go. Things move fast on the Saturday Superstream. Yeovil 0, Dover 1, if you like that sort of thing. Altrincham 0, Southend 1. Plenty of goals in the first 5 minutes. No change in the championship table, obviously, because our first championship goal was cancelled out in terms of movement in the table by our second championship goal. They were both in the same game. Woof. So Liverpool lead against Southampton in the Premier League, and 2 goals in the championship, both at Swansea. Mattheson for Swans, Deli Bashiru for Reading. Let's have a look. What are you saying? Chris, Norwich dominating so far. Norwich looking for a 3rd straight win. Derry, look at him, the German football hipster there, is watching the Bundesliga there, where Wolfsburg and Dortmund are level. Mr. Testosterone, Tom Deli Bashiru, Watford Loney, smashing the champ, especially Zinchenko. Yeah, both doing well, actually. Good point. Mr. Testosterone there. Yeah, Zinchenko, good player. I think he's going to be another knockout type player, isn't he? Who bounces about and does very well in the second tier. Jay is very, very cold at St Andrews by the sound of it. By the way, we do get people watching from stadiums. Let us know if you're in a stadium at the moment. Keep your eyes on the game, and yeah, good luck keeping phone reception. David, what do I think of the red card for Woods? David, there's a whole separate video on it. We talked chapter and verse on that one. I don't so much care to talk about the actual Woods red card, more about the rulings in the future. In terms of, we had a very good debate. Once people can forget about this decision went for this team and didn't go for this team, once we forget about that, do we think cynical fouls, stopping counter-attacks, blah, 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 should be automatic red cards? Good debate on the channel. Once people, of course, got over, oh, but this happened in my game and that happened in that game. Where's the consistency? Yeah, good luck with that, guys. Good luck with that. Andy, what's my thoughts on the Barnsley ground share news? I don't have any because I don't know what it is. I saw something on my Twitter about Barnsley and Bradford. Was it? Tell us more about that. If it's Bradford, that's a... Anyone get on Google Maps? That feels like a long way, doesn't it? Jeff's getting very animated on Sky. Does that mean we've got a goal somewhere? No, he's just bigging up Alan McAnally, I think. Bit of a lull at the moment. 5 minutes without a goal in any of our games. Liverpool lead and Swansea and Reading is 1-1. Hecking Bottom and McCall, the dream team. Well, we will find out. Speaking of Bradford there. Ooh, interesting. Luton 0, Cardiff 1. We have a goal. Am I reasonable calling that one a surprise? I think that's a bit of a surprise to me, that. I had Luton to win that one. Cardiff lead. Luton 0, Cardiff 1. I wonder if it's James Collins against his former club. We will find out imminently. We think Cardiff have taken the lead at Luton. We're going to await a goal scorer. Let's bung up the live league table while we are there. Take a look down at Cardiff, who will be moving on to 21 points. Ruben Coyle is the goal scorer for Cardiff. Cardiff lead. Coyle on 10 minutes. One of those many youngsters coming through Cardiff. Bagan, Moore, Harris, not Moore. Bagan, Coyle, Harris. There's a few more than that. Steve Morrison, of course, managed the under-23s, didn't he, at Cardiff? So he should know these players. Cardiff lead, and they're going to be going above a point per game. Ruben Cole, thank you, everybody, helping me out with that. Luton Twitter says Kiefer Moore, apparently, says Frank. Sky Sports says Coyle. So we'll assume so at the moment. Luton in 12th there could have Borough, Birmingham could go past them today. We will see. Arbroath 1, Forfar 0, if you like that sort of thing. Only 4 goals so far in our games. Earlier on, Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-0. Newcastle are setting themselves up to have a very decent second half of the season. Fulham drew 1-1 at Preston. Very interesting Preston goal. I think we'll show that to all the people who still say they don't want VAR in the Championship. But there you go. Liverpool 2-0. The chat is saying. Are you right, guys? Liverpool gone 2-0 up. I will await to see that on the screen. Nothing flashing up here yet. So we will await confirmation whether or not Liverpool have gone 2-0 up. They're closing up to within 1 point of Chelsea. Offside disallowed, says the chat as well. There. Offside. There we go. Sounds like Liverpool have had the ball in the back of the net last night in the Championship. Let me know if you watched it. I was out working. Oh, God. I could speak for 10 minutes on that job I had to do last night. That was not nice. In central London, in the Ned. Anybody been to the Ned? Very posh hotel in central London. But, yeah, I fear I was underpaid for what I did last night. That was a hard old job. Alloa 1, Bonnie Rig Rose 0. What a great name. Bonnie Rig Rose. Sorry. Last night, West Brom 0, Forest 0. Joe, Forest unbeaten. How many now? I think 1 defeat in 12. Sounds about right. Congratulations on 20k. Thank you, Plucky. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. We've got 20,000. That's a ridiculous number, isn't it? When you actually say it out loud, 20,000. Imagine 20,000 people. But there we go. Thank you, Plucky. Afternoon. Noel as well. QPR Forever. Actually, I need to say thank you to QPR Forever because I received a Christmas card from him this morning. I should have mentioned that. We got a goal in League One. That's been a while. Here's me sitting there saying the odds are statistically the first goal will be in League One because there's more games. Took us 14 minutes. Bolton 0, Cheltenham 1, and like buses, everybody, Crystal Palace 0, Villa 1. Up the dearly departed is all I am going to say. Must leave my bias at the door, but Villa have scored. Clinton Morrison, the ex-Palace player, is just describing it over. Can someone check this out for me? Liam Trotter has been sent off for Bromley. Is that still Liam Trotter who used to play for Ipswich? He must have been playing about 50. He used to play for Millwall as well. Is that the same Liam Trotter? Alfie May was the goal scorer for Cheltenham. Villa lead 1-0. Anyone got the Villa goal scorer for us in the chat? Let me just update the ticker. So Cheltenham lead at Bolton. I must remember to do the ticker first. But then I put ones up that get disallowed or whatever. Ow! I just got an electric shock off my laptop. That's not good. Anyone good at pat testing? Matt Target, the left back, has scored for Villa. Palace 0, Villa 1. Do you know what? Can I say target on target? I bet someone has done in the chat, so I'm saying it. You just watch me. The humidity in Enid's room, 39%, is lower than the comfort range. There you go. That's a recent notification that's come up on my phone from the baby monitor down there. Close the window, Shaylee. There we go. I didn't mean to press that button. I wanted to go to the live league table. There you go. Villa. Well, bit of a jump for Stevie G. Could be back-to-back wins up to 11th. That's where they finished last season. Remember, Premier League still another few games tomorrow. But Villa and Stevie G looking good so far. They lead at improving Palace. Think we got a goal in the Championship. And I keep predicting Chris Wilder to get his first win. They've got the lead. And I know someone in the chat will tell me, Ben, they had the lead against Preston. So I will buy that argument completely. But we think Borough have the lead against Huddersfield. Huddersfield 0, Borough 1. Duncan Watmore, the little nippy, is he a striker? Always thought of him as more as a wide forward in the modern parlance. But anyway, he scored for Chris Wilder. Huddersfield 0, Borough 1. We'll go to the live league table and see what that means in a sec. Huddersfield 0, Borough 1 on 16. Sutton 1, Borough 0. Ooh, Cambridge 0, Sunderland 1. In that top 7 or 8, we need to call it. I think we need to include MK and Oxford on the edge there. First blood to Sunderland, not too far from me in Cambridge. Sunderland lead 1-0. Again, we will await the goal scorer. Sunderland lead 15 minutes into their game. Cambridge 0, Sunderland 1. Let's have a look at the Championship Live League table after that Borough goal. Up back into the top half. Look at the recent form for Borough. Not good. 2 points in the last 5. Would be a first win for Chris Wilder, who replaced, can we call him the great Neil Warnock? We're talking about the Championship. He is the great Neil Warnock, isn't he? Let's have a look at the top 6 in League One. Sunderland lead, and that hasn't come up yet, so keep your eyes on the screen. Sunderland, we think, are about to bump up a few places. They haven't gone yet. Come on, SofaScore, catch up. Are they going above Wigan? No, they're not. Wigan have got a mighty goal difference. They're going to go up 1 spot, we think, Sunderland. I'm going to move on from that. It's not moving. And talk about Fleetwood have taken the lead at Wimbledon. Who's in caretaker charge at Fleetwood, or have they hired someone? Simon Grayson out at Fleetwood. Caretaker manager bounce anybody? Dimitar Mitov own goal has given Sunderland the lead confirmation there. So Wimbledon 0, Fleetwood 1. Fleetwood, having got shot of good old Simon Grayson, have taken the lead. Callum Morton is the goal scorer there. Right, a fair old glut of goals there. Let's try and get to some comments here. Test Tickles, comment of the day. Great content, Ben. You are very, very much welcome. Jay, ref halted play for a second as the corner flag fell over. What, in the wind? Goodness me. Oh, Fleetwood goal disallowed, says Sky Sports. It looks like. That was a fair old hold between that one going in and being chalked off. Let me just remove that. So forget what I said about any kind of caretaker manager bounce yet. That goal, and it seemed to take a jolly long time, has been disallowed. Wimbledon 0, Fleetwood 0. Here it goes. Let's see if it makes a good noise. You hear that? Crossed it through on my notes here. Arbroath 2, Forfar 0. Reagan Humility has obviously not shown much humility because he's been booked twice in the first 20 minutes in Rafe Rovers game. He's been red carded. Alloa 2, Bonnie Rig Rose 0. Fun and games in Scotland up there. Worth. What are we saying here in the chat? Let's say a big hello. Would Newcastle Sunderland be the biggest championship derby game there has ever been? Probably in terms of attendance, yes, because Newcastle draw 50,000, don't they? Depends on your definition of big. If big is bums on seats, then hard one to argue, Chris. Hard one to argue. Nappers will be going wild. Good old Nappers. Well, he will have gone wild. Don't worry. Tess is a regular here. So I don't mind reading that one out. If I leave a Ben Brereton Diaz gap between Tess and Tickles. Oh, I haven't fallen into that one. No, Tess is fine. Tess is allowed here. Remember, we have Mike Oxmall as well here, who was actually quite good talking about Stoke as well. So I'm okay with Tess Tickles. I'll leave a gap for those of you easily offended by that one. Stirling 1, Tranent Juniors 0, Forest Green 1, Bristol Rovers 0, Dundee 1, Motherwell 0. They're having great fun up in Scotland. Plenty of goals. Ooh, top of League One starting to move now. Is everyone just going to win? Morecambe 0, MK 1. MK were just outside the top 6, weren't they? But we think MK have taken the lead at Morecambe. What about Cole Stockton's goal from the halfway line the other day from Morecambe? He is a star, isn't he, that boy? Look out for him in the January transfer window. But look out for MK at the moment. They lead 1-0. Mo Issa is one of Jeff's favourites, isn't he? Mo Issa, the goal scorer. Let's go to the live league table in League One. And they've caught up there. MK into the top 6. That means Sheffield Wednesday have dropped a place, as have Oxford. There, it's all kicking off now at the top of League One. It's been kicking off all afternoon in Swansea, hasn't it? Swansea 2, Reading 1. Swansea lead 2-1. Remember, there were 2 goals in the first 4 minutes of that. Been disallowed. There we go. We need to get... Come on, Bet365 there. Need to be a bit more reliable on your app there. Ray Winston was telling me it's the best app ever. Why don't we instead talk about a second goal for Middlesbrough? Are we keeping this one? It looks like we are. 2-0 to the Borough, we think, on 23 minutes. Duncan Watmore had given the Borough the lead. And we think they're 2-0 up now. Looking for his first win, Chris Wilder. Again, we said they were leading against Preston in midweek and they lost. They weren't leading 2-0 though, were they? They are now leading 2-0. Well played, Borough. Looks like they are putting themselves into a formidable position there. And Duncan Watmore is on for a first half hat-trick, everybody. Second goal for Watmore. Can he get the rare as hen's teeth first half hat-trick? I wonder. Crawley 0, Mansfield 1. Ollie Hawkins, who was at Ipswich last season. Big, tall centre forward. Hello. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Wickham 1. Wickham are just the Dons in League One, aren't they? Wickham and Rotherham. And that's a big game. And things are not going well for Sheffield Wednesday today now. We said they had moved out of the top 6 with the MK and Sunderland goals. And now they are behind. Wednesday 0, Wickham 1. Let's see if we can get you a goal scorer. Wednesday are behind to Wickham. Wickham, of course, going great guns. Anis Mehmeti, the former Norwich, I think, was he a non-league? Anyone know who Anis Mehmeti's non-league team is? Because there was one. Look at Wickham, top of the league. They are 2 points ahead now of Rotherham as things stand by virtue of Anis Mehmeti's 23rd minute goal. Is Duncan Watmore going to get the first half hat-trick, I wonder? Neil Mellor is just describing his second goal on Sky Sports. Borough 2-0 up. If anyone knows what happened at Swansea, we thought Swansea may have had the ball in the net for a second goal. Let's have a look here. No Stockton for Morecambe today. Well, there you go. That's good news for MK. What else have we got here? Sexman, on my way to Leicester this afternoon for a Bollywood Motown gig. Outstanding. How does a Bollywood Motown gig sound? Sounds fun to me. Sax Bend. Ollie, League One actually looking more exciting than the Championship. I'm not having it, Ollie. We love the Championship. They're both beautiful leagues, aren't they? But yeah, maybe toughest League One ever. It's a bind, isn't it? Worth. League One looks like 18-19. I totally agree with that. Lewis, Wayne Rooney said Bielik back in training next week. Good news there for Derby. Just got to get some owners in before someone tries to sign Bielik in January. Oh, a Dean Lewington comment. We love. Can he get to 900, I wonder? Dean Lewington, 853 appearances for M. Just, there are no words to describe the service that Dean Lewington has given the MK Dons. I saw him play against Ipswich for MK Dons, I think in 2003, 2004, possibly. Goodness me. Mehmet was Anis Mehmeti was at Woodford. Well done, Anir. Ainsworth will go down as a legend at Wickham. Yeah, that is most definitely the case. Bolton goal, says someone there in the chat. The Blades way. He's right. Bolton 1. Cheltenham 1. Xavier Amechi, if I'm not butchering his name there. My apologies, with the equaliser for Bolton. Let's bang that into the ticker. Bolton equalising against Cheltenham, who took the lead early on through Alfie May. I say early on, 14 minutes, although that was our first goal in League One today. Keep your comments coming, you lot. Jonathan, hope you're well. Missed a few streams. Made sure to rewatch. Nice point for Preston. Thank you very, very much. Ben, how long did it take you? Did it take to throw your hair? Throw? Well, like an afro, or grow like a typo? Not long. The gaming guru. Just leave it. Just leave it. Don't go to the hairdresser. You love to see it. We'd love to see Wickham come back up to the Championship, says Senny Dieng. Oh, Hull 1, Millwall 0. Are Hull going to win a fourth straight game? They have the lead, we think. Hull 1, Millwall 0 on 29 minutes. Incredible. 4 straight wins for Hull. What a turnaround that would be. I mean, it's already an incredible turnaround to have 9 points in the last 3 games, but 12 points out of 12 would be just sensational. In League One, Cambridge have equalised against Sunderland. There you go. I think that's going to alter the positions there, isn't it? With MK leading, Wednesday are behind, aren't they? Shall I just go to the live league table? We'll get onto that goal in just a second. What was the minute? Cambridge have equalised against Sunderland. Let's go to a live League One table because it's all over the place there now. So Sunderland are about to drop out of the, well, certainly 5th place. They're going to drop down to 33 points. So they're just going to drop a place, Sunderland, once the table updates there. Sam Smith, won't you stay with me, Sam, has equalised. Did we get confirmation of whether that Hull goal existed? Yes. George Honeyman. Speaking of Sunderland, an ex-Sunderland player, George Honeyman has scored for Hull. Let's go to a live Championship table. Take a bow at Hull. Grant McCann's going to win Manager of the Month, isn't he? He totally is for November, if they can get a 4th straight victory. Let's get the live league table up and look at these points flying on for Hull. They are going to be, moving on to 21 points. Remember, 4 games ago, only had 9. Let's see if they can see this one out. What is going on at Swansea? Swansea is the most championship game of the day at the moment, isn't it? Swansea 1, Reading 2. Reading appear to have come from behind after going, behind on the 3rd minute to Jamie Patterson's goal. Tom Dele-Bashiru equalised within a minute. And we think Reading, and Sue Smith is now telling us that they are, Reading are 2-1 up against Swansea. Swans 1, Reading 2. I had that one nailed on home win, that one. Liverpool 2, Southampton 0. Liverpool took the lead early through Diogo Jota and had a goal disallowed. They've now gone 2 up. Oh, Andy Carroll. How about that? Welcome to the Championship, Andy Carroll. Andy Carroll scored, I think, 19 goals for Newcastle. Am I going to get my years right here, everybody? In the 2010-2011 Championship, have I got the right number? Diogo Jota scored a fair few goals, not as many as 19 for Wolves in the 17-18 Championship. He's got 2 in the first half for Liverpool. We have Duncan Watmore and Diogo Jota on a first half hat-trick here. They've scored both goals for both of their teams. Let's go back to the Championship Live League table and have a look at Reading there. That's an important goal given how well Hull are doing at the moment. But look, Peterborough and Barnsley fans, Peterborough and Barnsley are playing each other as we speak. And look, that Reading lead would open up a 4-point gap if there is not a decisive, I say a decisive result. Let's be fair. I'm talking about a Peterborough win because even a Barnsley win doesn't close that gap up, does it? In fact, a Barnsley win makes the gap even bigger because both of those sides would then be on 15 points. So that Reading goal is very bad news for Peterborough and Barnsley. Forgive me, Derby fans. We'll involve you guys in the conversation if and when Derby can score, 10, 15 points. And they need to do it in probably less than 10 games. It's not going to happen, sorry. In 10 to 12 games, let's just say. Let's go to some more comments. Cove 0, Queen of the South 1, Wilston 0, Stockport 1. Let's have a look here in the chat. How about Hull, eh? Look, I've said take about Hull the last 2 championship rounds. It's going to be take a standing ovation if they win 4 games on the trot. Isn't it? What else have we got here in the chat? Big Andy. Oh, I was 1 year out. Like on Popmaster. Always 1 year out. 09-10 for Andy Carroll. Whichever way, a long time ago. Rotherham hit the woodwork. My championship knowledge is remarkable. QPR Forever says that. Minutes after I get 1 year out. Woof. Ollie. I have nothing against Reading, but I have to ask, with FFP stuff, how is it they can bring the likes of Drinkwater and Carroll? Remember, both of those transfers would have been made with EFL ratification. They've been going back and forth with the EFL for a long, long time there. So, look, let's say the number that we've all heard. $8,000 a week, we think Carroll is on. So you would assume Drinkwater is on slightly less or something similar. But yeah, free transfers. We know that Reading have to cut their wage bill from 21 million to 16 million. And I think they have to present that as a business plan ahead of next season. Worth. Right. Once bitten, twice shy here. Wimbledon 0, Fleetwood 1, we think. Although we thought before. And then Fleetwood had the goal disallowed. Dare I write it down? I'm going to write it down for the second time that Fleetwood have taken the lead. Have they, though? Have they indeed? Oh, big goal at the top of League One. Plymouth 0, Wigan 1. Are Plymouth having a little slide now? I wonder, they've been overtaken, haven't they, Plymouth, by Wycombe and Rotherham in recent weeks. We'll check the table in a minute. Are Wigan close enough to go past them? We will find out. Let's put that goal up there. Let me know if the ticker is all up to date. Looks like the Fleetwood goal has gone through, although we said that before, back in minute 23, and it was disallowed. Jared Garner, we think, has scored for Fleetwood, and they lead in their first game without Simon Grayson as the manager. Just waiting on the Wigan goal scorer. Let's see if I can race Sky Sports and find out. No, they've beaten me. Will Keane, another former Ipswich striker. And stop the presses. Liverpool have gone 3-0 up. Do we have the first half hat-trick for Diogo Jota? We're about to find out. Liverpool 3, Saints 0. I was going to go to a League One live table. We will do so in just a sec. Let me just update Liverpool 3, Saints 0. I think the last thing I said before kickoff was good luck Southampton with that lineup. They're 3-0 down. Are we getting the first half hat-trick? We're going to find out. There's the live League One table. A lot of moving parts here, guys. Wycombe are leading up the top. Rotherham and Oxford are level. Thiago is the Liverpool goal scorer. No first half hat-trick yet, although Duncan Watmore of Middlesbrough and Diogo Jota could do it. They've got about 7 or 8 minutes by the look of it. Right, anyway, League One table. Wigan have indeed moved above Plymouth with that goal. MK have moved into the top 6. Sunderland were leading and a level. Oxford, Rotherham level. Wednesday behind against Wycombe. Absolute carnage at the top of League One. And if you maybe supported a team that was in League One that might expect to be near the top, this is exactly what you want. But you want everyone to draw, don't you? So everybody drops points. There will be many points dropped in the top 8 in League One today, frankly, because everybody is playing each other, aren't they? Let's have a look at some comments here. Chris, Norman off injured. Big blow. That is, yeah. Good luck to Matthias Norman. Saying about the League One top 6, we think Sunderland have just retaken the lead. We think it's Cambridge 1, Sunderland 2. Hold your thoughts on that. So that League One live table I just took a look at may be obsolete. Yes, Nathan Broadhead has scored. And Sunderland lead again. It's all go. It really is. Morecambe 0, MK 2 immediately follows that goal. Morecambe 0, MK Dons 2. Let's bung that one in. Let's just have a little look at the ticker. We're trying to keep up. Right. Did I update? Cambridge 1, Sunderland 2. We do need to update Morecambe 0, MK 2. There we go. I've put 3. Deary me. Almost like it's hard to keep up with 10,000 stories changing every second. Matt O'Reilly is your goal scorer for MK. Scunthorpe lead against Bradford as well. And we'd mentioned the Sunderland goal. Right. Hopefully, yeah, that is all updated now. Again, top 6 in League One. Let's be fair, it's going to change again, probably a few more times before the afternoon is out. Wycombe lead the way. Rotherham are level at Oxford. Wigan are beating Plymouth in that big match up there, 3rd versus 4th. That is a position switch, I think, isn't it? Sunderland lead at Cambridge. MK are 2 up. They look good at Morecambe. Oxford, as we say, are level with Rotherham. Wednesday are losing at home to Wycombe. I think Let me pop this one up. Yeah, Wednesday Wycombe has been stopped. We're having a lot of these, aren't we? Lots of games been stopped recently for medical emergencies. I don't have a theory as to why that is. I'm sure plenty of you do in the post-pandemic world. Anyway, let's not get into that, the general health of the nation, but we seem to be seeing it more and more. People going to the football and struggling with their health there. No one likes to see that. Sean, Reading, restricted to £8,000 a week. So, yeah. Then we know. No one wants to talk about their wage, do they? But Andy Carroll and Danny Drinkwater will not be getting more than £8,000 a week. The poor guys. Imagine having to live on just £8,000 a week. Someone add that up. How much is that a year? 400 and something grand? Deary me. Ollie, how Tjelta has broken into that fabled front three so emphatically, I'll never know. Well, player, isn't he? Northampton 1, Orient 0 in League 2. And we've just got a little lull on Premier League, League 1 and Championship goals at the moment. But St Johnstone 1, Hibs 0. Lothian Thistle 0. Edinburgh City 2. Scunthorpe 1. Bradford 0. In leagues that we don't cover. Worth £416,000 a year. How much tax do you pay on that? Or do they have clever accountants that move that money about in perfectly legal ways, of course, and create nice expense accounts as well to write some of that stuff off? But there we go. Okay, back playing at Hillsborough. Hopefully that means that the medical emergency was a positive one. I don't know. It might not mean anything. So good luck to whoever is involved in that. Right, a little bit of a lull. We won't do a complete reset because we're so close to half time. So we'll wait for the half times to indeed come in, and then we'll go through everything. You can hopefully see all of the updated scores and whatnot on the ticker down the bottom there. Ooh, Plymouth 1, Wigan 1. Important goal. That will swap, I think, Plymouth and Wigan again in third and fourth position. Switch them back round. It'll be Plymouth third, I think Wigan fourth, if my math is correct. Wigan had not long taken the lead through Will Keane, but I was going to say Plymouth are a very good home team. They're very good everywhere, frankly. Danny Mayer is the goal scorer for Plymouth, who give Ryan Lowe lots of credit for having a stupendously good rise from, I think they finished 18th. Did they, Plymouth, last season? They're up in fourth, but you can see back-to-back defeats before that. But there you go, SofaScore right on cue there. The table updated and Plymouth went back up into third position. Remember, Rotherham are playing Oxford as well in a very crowded top 8 there in League 1 with plenty of teams playing each other. Speaking of the top of the table, Bournemouth may be moving back, if my numbers are correct, to the top of the Championship because they have just, we think, taken the lead right on half-time at home to Coventry. Bournemouth 1, Coventry 0, a goal which would put Bournemouth top of the Championship again after Fulham drew at Preston earlier today. Bournemouth, we think, lead 1-0 over Coventry. Bets on that being Dom Solanke. Was he playing today, actually? He must be playing. He's so good for Bournemouth this season. Anyone got me a goal scorer? Jaden Anthony, who we were questioning, might have been playing at fullback today. We can have another look back there. Ooh, Hull 1, Millwall 1. Another Championship goal on half-time. still, first world problems for Hull at the moment, who are on a rip-roaring run. Easy for me to say. But Millwall, we'll say it again, Millwall are hard to beat. Only 4 defeats this season for Gary Rowett and Millwall. And they have equalised late on in the half against Hull. Let's get a live championship table up. Matt Murray is just confirming on Sky that Millwall have scored. Wait for the goal scorer. And that live league table confirms that Bournemouth have gone back to the top of the championship. Tom Bradshaw, we think possibly Rowett is playing 2 up front or some kind of front 3, but Bradshaw and Afobe both playing today as well as Jed Wallace. Tom Bradshaw has scored. And once that goal gets added on, Millwall will only be 2 points off the playoff places. You can see Coventry have dropped to 6th, having gone behind against Bournemouth. Stoke and Blackburn are playing each other. So very incestuous around there. One of them will drop points. So I guess Millwall will be happy whatever the outcome. And as well in the Millwall conversation, Swansea are losing as well. So let's put it plainly. If Millwall can get another goal, it would be a very good day for, there we go, Mill friends there. Tom Bradshaw, a popular goal scorer in the chat. Jay's having fun down at St Andrews in the cold there. And AFC Bournemouth Germany confirmed to us that Bournemouth, the Cherries, are back to the top of the championship as things stand. Of course, Matty Lund has scored for Salford. I remember a player called, was it Gary Lund? He used to play for Notts County back in the day. Someone who knows more about football. Smarten me up in the chat. I've got the right guy there. I wonder if they're related. Let's put 2 and 2 together and make 100. A Rick Rolling run. I remember Rick Rolling, featuring Rick Astley on YouTube, didn't it? And the great Pete Waterman was very unhappy about not getting his royalties for Rick Astley. Gary Lund indeed. There we go. A Phoebe with the assist. Jack has been watching Norwich v Wolves. Norwich been decent. Probably on the balance been the better team. Both sides had a clear-cut chance. If you are watching a game like Jack or listening, keep us posted on the first half and how things have panned out and your expectations for the second half. We're going big picture, but if you're honed in on one game, please give us your insights. Andy, Bournemouth were top at this point against Derby. Yeah, they were leading at halftime, weren't they? To be fair, Bournemouth have been top for most of the season, haven't they? Only this past sort of 4-game run. Minor slowdown for Bournemouth, but if they win today, 44 points from 20 games, I suspect Mr. Parker and the Bournemouth players will be sleeping fairly comfortably with that points total accumulated. They look very, very good for promotion. Rick Astley singing Smith songs now. Oh, do you want me to do my Morrissey impression? There you go. That was it. Zane. Hello. Welcome, Zane. Bolton 1. Cheltenham 2. Just before I thought I could put down the pen. I say put down the pen. Which game had the delay in? Sheffield Wednesday and Wickham. Who took the lead there, sorry? Cheltenham are back in front against Bolton. Bolton 1, Cheltenham 2. And it's been confirmed that Gary Lund did play for Notts County back in the day. I want to say he would have played for Neil Warnock at Notts County. Do you remember when Notts County were really good? Comment of the day, Frank. Benjamin Bloom is a charming man, to be fair. And I will meet you at the cemetery gates. I do like that Smiths album. It's very, very good, isn't it? The Queen is Dead. One of the great albums. Sam thought Preston deserved a win in the 12:30. They only got a point. Bit of a dubious goal as well, but that's not to say that they didn't deserve the win. those are two different conversations. You know what I mean. Right. I think we can do a little reset now and go through the half times. And then I'm going to take myself a 2-minute break. Take a look at this SofaScore screen. In the Premier League earlier today, Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Newcastle are in a lot of bother, aren't they? However much money they're going to be able to spend in January. Palace 0, Villa 1, up the dearly departed. Liverpool 3, Saints 0. Those three at the top of the Premier League are so much better than the rest of the league, aren't they? Goodness me. Norwich 0, Wolves 0. Norwich looking for a third straight victory. And later on, Brighton play Leeds in another dearly departed game. In the Championship, as someone just pointed out, who was it? Let's name and shame. Sam, there we go, just talking about Preston drawing 1-1 with Fulham, which has opened up the door, hasn't it, for Bournemouth, who are currently leading, to go to the top of the table. It's Birmingham 0, Blackpool 0, Bournemouth 1, Coventry 0, Huddersfield 0, Middlesbrough 2, Hull 1, Millwall 1, Luton 0, Cardiff 1, Peterborough 0, Barnsley 0 in that big bottom three clash. Stoke 0, Blackburn 0 as well. Did I read Hull 1, Millwall 1 and Huddersfield 0, Middlesbrough 2? My brain's going all over. I can't even remember reading stuff. Swansea 1, Reading 2. Bit of a up and down one. In that one, Swansea led early. Reading turning everything around. In League 1, Wimbledon 0, Fleetwood 1, Bolton 1, Cheltenham 2, Burton 0, Doncaster 0, Cambridge 1, Sunderland 2, Gillingham 0, Pompey 0, Morecambe 0, MK 2. They're going back in the top 6. Oxford 0, Rotherham 0, big one there. And also Plymouth 1, Wigan 1, third versus fourth at the start of play today. Wednesday 0, Wycombe 1. That one has been delayed due to a medical emergency, so we may be going past 5:05 when I want to go and order a takeaway and hang with Shaylee from 5 o'clock. So we may not catch the end of Wednesday and Wycombe. Today, Shrews 0, Charlton 0, Lincoln 0, Accrington Stanley 0. Woof. Right. I am going to take myself a little 2-minute break. Please get your comments in, and we will finish out half time. Sorry, the colour is going to change there briefly because I need to find the right video. Here we go. Right, do not go anywhere. I will return. See you all in a couple of minutes, everyone. Don't go anywhere, guys. I mean, you can, but make sure you come back because the stream will be returning in a couple of minutes. If you haven't already and you're not going anywhere, hit subscribe. Ring the bell for notifications on the Benjamin Bloom channel. Like this stream. Keep your comments coming. And if you want, you can give it a share. And what better place to go and share than over on Twitter, where you can find me at Benjamin Bloom. Lots of stuff goes down that feed. And if you ever need to contact me, the DMs are open. Forgive me, it might take a couple of days to get through all of them. At Benjamin Bloom on Twitter. You can also support us over at our Teespring store, www.benjaminbloommerch.store. Don't forget the 2 M's in a row. Buy yourself a t-shirt, a mug, phone case, hoodies, all sorts of good stuff over there. Great way to represent our community over here. If you do get something, make sure you send me a picture over on Twitter, in fact, and I will get that retweeted. You can also support over on Patreon, www.patreon.com/BenjaminBloom. A direct way to support my work here monthly. get yourself a little bit of extra content each month. And thank you to everybody on Patreon. We really could not have got through what has been happening in the world without you. Before we return, get those comments filled up. Questions, topics, etc. And enjoy the rest of the stream. Here we go. I made it. We are back. Sorry. Let me just pop my earphones back in. There was a trip downstairs to get a drink. This is weird. I can't hear myself. There we go. We are back. Oh, of course there's been a goal since I've walked down the stairs. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Wycombe 1. Let me just add that one in 45 plus 9. Remember, Sheffield Wednesday and Wycombe was delayed due to a medical emergency. Shadipo has scored for Wednesday. Wednesday equalised against Wycombe. That's going to mess with the top 6 in League One some more, isn't it? Let me just double check that. So, wow. Let me put that up on the screen. It's so tight. Look at that. Rotherham 38, they're level. Wycombe 38, they're level. Plymouth 38, they're level. Wigan 36, they're level. So anyone takes the lead out of the top 4, the next League One team in the top 4 to score is going to go top of the league. Is what's about to happen. So keep your eyes on League One. Fascinating situation there. I'm going to try and drink some of this orange juice to pep myself up here, he says, immediately spilling some of it on the table. You are watching the return, because we haven't been on for a few weeks. Forgive me, I do love doing the Saturday Super Stream, but those bills just keep coming and I've got to pay them. And I've been off, obviously, doing some work on Saturdays at some Premier League games. But when I'm here, the Saturday Super Stream will happen, and we love having you all reacting. We, of course, are reacting to all Premier League, League One, and Championship stuff as it happens on a Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. Keep your comments coming in. Get your reactions to your first halves, your expectations, especially if you've been managing to watch the game by whatever means. We're all friends here, so no one's being judged. If you're able to get a feed of a game by hook or by whatever, let us know how it is all going. The scores are ticking along the bottom there. Did I update Sheffield Wednesday? I don't think I did. There we go. So the scores are now correctly ticking across the bottom there that we've updated with that Sheffield Wednesday goal. Oh, right. Any questions? Any comments? Benjamin nicking out to the off. 8 cans of speckled hen. Derry, if we're having takeaway tonight, I will be having a beer, so I think I deserve it. I had a nightmare at the gig I had to do last night, for God's sakes. Right, let's look at some comments here. Adrian, apologies in advance when we spend 250 million and destroy the league. You're very welcome, Adrian. Yeah, that might be a slightly interesting championship tale. But Newcastle, it is a story. We were talking about it at the top of the show. We're going to be in December. Oh no, I think is there a Premier League midweek round? Well, put it this way. I was going to say Newcastle are going to go into December not having won a game, basically. So things not boding well. James, best first half performance since I can remember for Borough. It's Huddersfield 0, Borough 2. That is why James is so happy. Chris, right, I'll moan about this for 30 seconds. My job last night, Chris, was to play keyboards at a corporate function. Actually, one thing you would like, Chris, I got a bloke came up to me, recognised me from YouTube, was a Norwich fan. So there you go. I met a Norwich fan, as if the night couldn't have got any worse. Only joking, Norwich fans. We love you. You're all very lovely, aren't you? Especially when we meet you in person. Far nicer than on the internet, let's just say. But no, it was in central London, and I got there at 2:30, and the loading was, I'm not joking, the loading was 2 lifts up 6 floors, and just awful. Then you can't park anywhere. 24 quid to park. Yes, I did bill it to the agent. That's fine. Whatever. Got home about 2 a.m. this morning, and it was bandioki as well. So the audience come up and sing. So all sounded rubbish anyway, didn't it? But there you go. We've got to pay to feed little Enid and the childminder next year, haven't we? So there we go. Plucky. Would Eddie Howe be manager if Newcastle go down? I think he would actually, Plucky. I don't know what the chat thinks. Chat thinks about that, but yeah, I think he's manager for sort of 18 months, whatever happens, isn't he? Unless it's an absolute disaster. Speckled hen or old crafty hen? No speckled hen for me, I have to say. But I don't know. What did I have the other night? San Miguel. Nice. Trevor, on the train back from Preston, we weren't very good. And have you seen the Preston goal? Worst decision ever. Complete handball twice. Does anyone want to tell Trevor as well that Emil Rees was offside when the ball hit his hand? Just in case he wants any more reasons for that Preston goal to have been disallowed. But there we go. I keep saying it every week. I worked in a school, right? And what teachers are taught and parents are taught, if somebody is struggling to do something, sometimes yelling at them and criticizing them isn't the right thing to do. Sometimes helping them is the right thing to do. And these refs need help, don't they, in the Championship? And you see the Premier League ones who've got replays and they can check the screen and the VAR and all that. And we can yell and scream at the Championship refs or we can help them. And I think they just need some help, for God's sakes, don't they? Goodness me. We're everywhere. Yes, you are, Chris. You are indeed. What else have we got here? James. We all know what Borough are like in the second half. Yeah, absolutely. Ollie, wouldn't make sense to sack Howe if relegated, but who can predict the whims of owners? Yeah, quite indeed. Adrian, Eddie is the best man for the job if we get relegated. He's won the Championship before. Very true. 2014-15 with Bournemouth, wasn't it? You're welcome, Trevor. Not my fault. I just thought everyone was looking at the handballs on that, and I thought, hang on a minute, he's offside, isn't he? There's not 2 players in between. And yeah, I freeze framed it, and yeah, it was. Logan, can you make me positive ahead of the game? Yeah, I can. I think Leeds will play a higher tempo than Brighton. It might be an interesting game. Leeds are used to having more possession than their opponents, but probably not in this game. But it's all about those speedy transition. Looks blooming cold there. They just had Laura Woods and Alan Smith, and Laura's bouncing about like that, trying to keep herself warm, I think. So, yeah, it could be a brisk one for the Leeds and Brighton fans down there later on. Wait, you lot. 4:04 p.m. We are awaiting the start of our second halves. You can see all the scores ticking along the bottom. But let's do a quick reset with a view to what's going to be happening in the second halves. It was earlier on today, Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. We keep talking about Newcastle. Newcastle are in bother. Palace 0, Villa 1, up the dearly departed. Liverpool 3, Saints 0, Norwich 0, Wolves 0. Brighton play Leeds at 5:30. So we're going to be looking at, we've got 3 dearly departed teams there playing today, Villa, Norwich and Leeds. We'll be getting that video out at some point tomorrow, reviewing those games in the Championship earlier on. It was Preston 1, Fulham 1. And then Birmingham 0, Blackpool 0. Bournemouth 1, Coventry 0. Bournemouth are top of the league as things stand once again. Little flip-flop between Fulham and Bournemouth this past week or so at the top of the Championship. Huddersfield 0, Borough 2, Hull 1, Millwall 1, Luton 0, Cardiff 1. Posh nil, Barnsley nil. Huge game that. Peterborough and Barnsley down the bottom. Their Hull's form and Reading winning means there is a gap emerging. That game does not want to be a draw for the sake of either of those sides. Stoke nil, Blackburn nil, just outside I think Stoke are actually in fifth due to Coventry going behind. So it's all very, very tight on the edges there. If Blackburn score, as things stand with QPR playing on Monday night, Blackburn would jump all the way up to fourth place. A Blackburn goal could be a big goal. Swansea 1, Reading 2. Little bit of a surprise, that one. Swansea led earlier in the game. Second halves are a go-go. So we're just going to await our first goal. Let me just rattle through League One, where I think we've framed this quite well in League One. The next one of the top 4 in League One to score will go top of the league. It is so tight, it's not true at the top of League One. The entire run of scores here, it's Wimbledon 0, Fleetwood 1, Bolton 1, Cheltenham 2, Burton 0, Doncaster 0, Cambridge 1, Sunderland 2, Gillingham 0, Pompey 0, Morecambe 0, MK 2. MK probably looking the most secure of the top 6 there in terms of getting the 3 points, a 2-goal advantage there. Oxford 0, Rotherham 0, big game awaiting his first goal there. Plymouth 1, Wigan 1, maybe an even bigger game. And then the Sheffield Wednesday, Wycombe. Remember, Wednesday and Wycombe, we're looking at probably 10 past 5 before that one finishes. Big, long delay in the first half, medical emergency. Of course, we can wait till 10 past 5 if it's going to help somebody in a medical emergency. But I'm just throwing it out there that Wycombe will know what's going on more than all of their opponents there at the end. There, I'm not reading anything into that in any way, saying that's an advantage or not. I'm just saying that's the fact of what's happening here today. Shrewsbury 0, Charlton 0, Lincoln 0, Accrington, Stanley 0. No goals yet in the second halves. Ollie, Leeds will be fine. They have a higher ceiling for improvement. Rob, think Watford, Brentford and Norwich will go. Chris, Leeds do look pretty poor, but you'd imagine they'll improve. Lee, what's the lowest position a parachute team has finished? Asking for a friend. Well, Lee, you will remember Sunderland were a parachute team. Ellis Short took all the money out of the club and got out of Dodge, didn't he? But they were statistically a parachute team, and they got relegated. So I think I think Wigan were a year 4 parachute team when they went down in the 4-year runs. But there you go. Right. I think we've already got a goal in the second half. I think it's gone to Swansea. Swansea 2, Reading 2. And the second half started exactly the same as the first half. Swansea and Liverpool have both scored. How about that? Hey? It's history repeating itself all over again. Yes? So Swans on 49. Ryan Manning, the ex-QPR and Rotherham left back, although plays centre-back for Swansea fairly often. Has Diogo Jota got his hat-trick then? Because Liverpool have apparently gone 4-0 up. They're having a lovely old time. Liverpool battering Southampton. They're now 4-0 up. So good, Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, aren't they? Oh, you are kidding me. You're absolutely kidding me. Reading have scored. So the first half has literally repeated itself. That is incredible. In the first half, Swansea scored on 3 and Reading immediately scored. And there's exactly the same thing has happened in the second half. I do not believe that. Virgil van Dijk was the goal scorer for Liverpool. And I think Reading have taken back the lead. Just incredible. Exactly the same thing that happened in the first half happened in the second half here. Tom Dele-Bashiru scored. I wonder if it's the same goal scorer. Oh, hello, Blackburn as well. Stoke 0, Blackburn 1. And by my maths, I think Blackburn have just gone 4th in the Championship. Oh, we've got a goal glut, for God's sake. Hull 2, Millwall 1. It's gone mental at the start of the second half in the Championship. We'll try and keep up. Hopefully the glut will end at some point, but the goals are absolutely flying in. So the ticker should be updated. So Drinkwater scored the immediate reply goal for Reading. In the gap in between that happening, Khadra has put Blackburn into 4th place as things stand. Drinkwater it was, not Deli Bashiru this time, that put Reading immediately back into the lead. Madness that's happened twice at the start of each half. And then Hull are now leading again. Ryan Longman has scored. Hull lead for the second time against Millwall. Crazy few minutes. We've had a couple of goals as well in League One for Bolton, and somebody else scored. Wimbledon scored as well. Goal glut here. Goals absolutely flying in at the start of the second half. Ayub Asal is the goal scorer for Wimbledon, and we will await the Bolton scorer. I'm just going to update the ticker. It's all gone mental, hasn't it, as it tends to on the Superstream. But I think I've got everything updated. If anybody sees a score that we haven't got updated, in fact, the Bolton goal has been disallowed. So we are now, hopefully, caught up. Incredible minute or two. We do want to go to a championship live league table. Let me just find Wimbledon and Fleetwood. Right. So just to keep you up on all of that, into the second half, and Ryan Manning equalised for Swansea, and then echo in the first half, Danny Drinkwater immediately scored for Reading. So Reading lead 3-2 in that game. Virgil van Dijk put Liverpool 4-0 up in the Premier League. Khadra scored for Blackburn. That's going to put them 4th. Longman scored for Hull. So they are now back on for 4 straight wins. And Ayub Asal scored for Wimbledon to equalise against Fleetwood. Let's go to the live Championship League table just for that confirmation of what an important moment that was for Blackburn, who were second in the form table. Blackburn going into today. I think if you go back another game, there's only 5 games up there on SofaScore. 13 points in the last 6 games. Looks like they're going to be getting another win here as things stand. And obviously QPR play on Monday. Blackburn are playing Stoke. So that puts paid to them getting any points. And Coventry are losing at Bournemouth. Could be a really, 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 really good day for Blackburn. As we say, a certain Danish beer company, if Dirty Dur made afternoons, Blackburn are having one. Oh, right. Let's go to your comments after the crazy goal glut. Ryan, Longman's first goal in black and amber. Is he signed permanently, Ryan, or is he just on? He's on loan from Brighton. Is he? David, that's us done. Rarely scored 2 in a game. Good point. I assume he's talking from a Millwall point of view there. Ollie, Championship catching up on. Yes, totally agree, Ollie. Far too many 0-0s last week. Great bounce back by Rovers after the 7-0. Do you know what? Yes, I agree. But the form actually includes the 7-0. The 7-0's in the middle of the last 6 games. And as much as it sounds ridiculous, if you're going to score 13 points in 6 games, most teams would take a 7-0 in the middle of it. Just, anyone who's not, a little bit prissy about conceding a load of goals and getting hammered every now and then, if you get 13 points every 6 games, you're going to get 100 points, aren't you? So I'm sure they will take it. Any more comments? Blimey, the glut, Anir. Always get the glut. Montre, curious on how West Brom fans feel about Ishmael. Suspicious at the moment, despite the fact West Brom are in 3rd, 34 points from 20 games, a little way off the 2 points per game standard, which Bournemouth and Fulham are both comfortably clear of at the moment. Brighton on loan, Ryan. Ryan in the chat, and Ryan Longman, the player he's talking about. Dave's pizza's arrived. Very, very nice too, Dave. Sorry, I click your comment in and out quickly. So No one fixates too much on the scantily clad lady in your picture. This is a very PG channel, isn't it? So there we go. So, goal glut at the start of the second half. 2 goals in the Swansea Reading game. Another one for Liverpool. Goal for Blackburn. Goal for Hull. Goal for Wimbledon. Everything is calming now. So get your comments in. This is the Saturday Superstream. Please hit like wherever you are watching. Burton 1, Doncaster 0 in League One. Burton lead. Doncaster are just having the worst time of it, aren't they? I think Crewe are bottom, we said. Now, didn't we? Doncaster still second bottom, only 13 points, and they are behind against Burton Albion. Burton 1, Doncaster 0. I don't appear to have a goal scorer for you. Go on, Sky Sports. Well done. Thomas O'Connor on 55 is the Burton goal scorer. Get your comments in here. That's all right, Dave. You only put sorry about my picks. I clicked on it again. There we go. Mr. LJ, I don't want to hear about this. Boris Johnson is addressing something to the nation at 5 p.m. Let's just enjoy the football until then. But yes, I'm sure if we can get you guys watching that, we'll probably still be going at 5. Ryan, seems like McCann has found a winning formula in the Championship. It's amazing. It's an amazing run if they do go 4 straight wins. I'm sure most Hull fans would rather have a bit more consistency in terms of the points landing than them all landing in 4 straight games. But hey, 4 straight games, 4 straight wins, you'll take it, won't you? Will I be doing a watch-along for Hecky's first game? Pass. I don't know what tomorrow is going to look like. I've got to get up, get out of bed, do my first bit of writing, and get working. There may be an opportunity to do that. There may be. We'll see what my day looks like tomorrow. That's not me promising anything. Have I got enough wine in? No, don't know. I'm not even going to speculate what Boris is onto now. But there we go. Ooh. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Wycombe 1. That is the delayed game. The top of the table, or one of many actually, top of the table clashes in League One. And Sheffield Wednesday went behind, didn't they, to Anis Mehmeti goal. They now have the lead. And we will await a goal scorer. Let me update the ticker. So Wednesday are going to be going up to 5th. And by God, it's got even tighter at the top of League One. Josh Windass is the goal scorer for Wednesday. Wednesday 2, Wycombe 1. Let's just go to that. Look at the top of League One. Go all the way down to MK. Look, 34, 35, 35, 36, 37, 37, 38. And Rotherham know if they take the lead against Oxford, they are out in front on their own. But yeah, all going on in League One. Awfully quiet at Carrow Road. I'm sure it won't stay that way. Darren Moore equals quality manager. No expectations here, Ben. You're a busy man after all. Well, there we go. We'll try our best, Ollie. You don't want to know what my Sundays look like. I think last Sunday I worked like 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. or something like that. But what are you going to do, hey? It's not the worst thing in the world to be here talking about football, is it? So we'll take it. Hearts 1, St Mirren 0. And does this goal stand? I'm going to keep my powder dry. Bolton 2, Cheltenham 2. But we thought Bolton had equalised 5 minutes ago, didn't we? So we'll see if that one has actually gone 2-2. We think it's Bolton 2, Cheltenham 2, 4 goals in that game now. And I think a couple we've had come through, or maybe just a one, come through as disallowed. We're coming up 20 past 4 now. So we're getting towards mid-50s, towards the hour mark now. Substitutions will be being considered or indeed happening in many of these games now as we go into that final 30 minutes of normal time. Keep your comments coming in. David, first time watch the watch-along. Great channel manager. Thank you very much, David. Very, very kind. Do I follow... is that Bundesliga 2? I don't even follow the actual Bundesliga. I just don't have enough brain bandwidth, I think, Frank. If you imagine I spend this much of it on the Championship, this much on the Premier League and League One, and then I've got a 4-month-old baby down there. So, yeah, not enough brain room for any other sports or even football leagues. So, Kachunga, Elias Kachunga, former Huddersfield, and it was at Sheffield Wednesday last season, wasn't he? He's the goal scorer for Bolton. Kachunga on 58. Sorry, what a disgusting noise. There you go. I've finished my orange juice. Oh, Bournemouth 2, Coventry 0. Our Bournemouth home and host. 66 minutes. Okay, they're well past the hour mark then. Bournemouth are 2-0 up and look very, 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 very much like they are going back to the top of the league. 2-0 to Bournemouth. Jaden Anthony had given them the lead on half-time. They have now gone 2-0 up, and MK, surely home and host, Morecambe 0. MK 3 looking very, very good for that top 6 position. MK Dons. Phil Billing is the goal scorer for Bournemouth. He's got a handful of goals this season. He's got 4 or 5. Billing now. Someone will give me the number in the chat. We're just waiting to see confirmation of that third MK Dons goal and the goal scorer. In the meantime, not a million miles away from here, Luton have just scored. Luton 1, Cardiff 1. Harry Darling, by the way, is the goal scorer. Oh, darling, please believe me. Anyone watch the Beatles thing on Disney yet? Actually, that might be my evening watching if I can persuade the illustrious Shaylee. Who scored for Luton then? Sounds like Luton have equalised. My apologies if there is spam in the chat. I have just removed it. There we go. My apologies there. Let's say a big thank you to David. £5 on the super chat. David, very, very kind. My friend, thank you so much. Jordan Clark, the former Accrington winger, should we call him a winger, has equalised for Luton against Cardiff. Luton 1, Cardiff 1. And then I think we are all up to date other than that. Yeah, thanks again, David. That super chat still on the screen. Very kind. My apologies. I'm just doing a little bit more blocking in the chat there. Well, when I saw the name of the red card, I wasn't that surprised, but Jeff Lerma has been red carded for Bournemouth. I don't know whether that opens up the door for Cov. We've had good fun with Jeff Lerma on the channel the last year or so, haven't we? He's always in the midst of it. Very, very interesting last 22 minutes now. Bournemouth are 2-0 up, but Jeff Lerma, the central midfielder, has been red carded on 68. Straight red by the look of it. Serious foul play from what they are saying. Jeff Lerma, as Nathan confirms there, has been red carded. Just have a quick look at the live championship table. Let me know how you think that will affect that Bournemouth game. Can they see it out with 10 and a 2-goal advantage? Just go to that live championship league table. read from the bottom up. That's what I'm going to do. So Barnsley and Posh are level. Cardiff are now not winning, which is good news for Posh and Barnsley, who play each other. Reading are winning, quite heroically, actually. 3-2 at Swansea. Hull are also winning, extremely heroically, because it'll be their 4th win on the bounce. That goal for Luton puts them, as things stand, back into the top half. And the Hull goal drops Millwall to 11th. Remember, Millwall at one point were much tighter up, closing in on the playoffs. But, hey, they're losing now. So all changed there. Rochdale 1, Exeter 1, Scunthorpe 1, Bradford 1. That's a very good point. Fulham 58. Yeah, so Jeff Lerma, look, I don't think it'll just affect the Bournemouth-Fulham game. If it's serious foul play, which we think it is, it just says foul play on Sky Sports, he'll be 3 games, won't he? So no Jeff Lerma for the next 3 games. Look, I haven't seen a challenge. I know nothing, but straight red, you'd imagine is going to be a 3-game suspension. Jonathan, who can you see drop out of the top 6 who looks certain to finish there? In terms of answering that question completely directly, who asked it? Jonathan. The only certainties I saw as being in the top 6 were the parachute teams, and I don't see any of them dropping out of it. So, as I keep saying on all the streams, the door is wide open for 4th, 5th, and 6th, I think. But I don't see any certainties other than the 3 parachute teams that are currently in there. Bournemouth, Fulham and West Brom. Rochdale 1, Exeter 1, Wrexham 2, Bromley 0. Mansfield have just taken the lead at Creepy Crawley on 73 minutes. This is the Saturday Superstream. We're coming up 4:30 now, so normally that signals about 20 minutes to go, doesn't it? So substitutions are happening. Vital things are about to be happening in these games. There's plenty of games with only a goal margin. West Brom look a bit suspect currently. Well, yeah, maybe they do. But maybe this might be the extent of their trough. Who knows? Who knows indeed? I don't see them dropping out of the top 6, I have to say. Let's just quickly throw up the scorelines as things stand. So let's look at the games that can change on the next goal. And they would be Palace and Villa. Villa lead 1-0. Liverpool are safe and finished, aren't they? 4-0 up. Norwich 0, Wolves 0. A goal, frankly, would probably win the game for either team with only 20 minutes to go there. Same with Birmingham, City and Blackpool. They're 0-0. So are Posh and Barnsley. A goal could be vital there. Bournemouth are up by 2. Middlesbrough are up by 2. Hull are only up by 1 against Millwall, and Luton Cardiff is 1-1. Blackburn are up by 1 at Stoke, and Reading are up by 1 at Swansea. So could be key the next goal now. Plenty of games with a lot riding on them. Chris, door is open for all 4 playoff spots. There you go. He thinks West Brom aren't the real deal for a playoff team. Lincoln 0, Accrington Stanley 1 in League 1. Stanley take the lead at Sincil Bank at Lincoln on. Give me a time. 55 minutes. Why are they so delayed at Lincoln as well? 2 big delays in League 1 at Lincoln and at Sheffield Wednesday. Accrington Stanley have taken the lead, though. Did I update that? I think I did. There we go. All good in the hood. Apparently, it's denial of an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. Well, there we go. So 3 games. Either way, I think the point Fulham 58 was making, he ain't going to be playing against Fulham unless there's an appeal. And they never let you away with the appeals, do they? Colby Bishop, good player, isn't he, for Accrington? Big strapping sort of auxiliary forward type player. Leeds 2021. There's your Leeds team, in fact, there. Melier, Dallas, Cooper, Llorente, Firpo, Phillips, Forshaw, James, Rafinha, Harrison, Rodrigo. They'll be pleased to see Rodrigo back, Firpo back as well. Don't think Llorente played last week, did he? I can't remember. They want Bamford back, don't they? Worth, Steve, Slavish crap. My Blades team is 12 unbeaten on Football Manager. Well, there we go. Go on, Steve. He's taking Sheffield United up on Football Manager. Douglas Luiz has been red carded, says Sky Sports and Clinton Morrison. That could be bad news for Stevie Gerrard and Villa. They lead 1-0 at Palace, but with just under 20 minutes normal time to go, they're down to 10 men. Red cards ahoy here. Harry Clark, red carded at Ross County as well. And of course, we just saw Jeff Lerma was red carded for Bournemouth as well. This is the Saturday Superstream. Chollis on for Norwich. Going for the win by the look of it. Norwich against Wolves would be a third straight win. They're trailing in Hull's thunder on that one in the surprise winning streak stakes. Hull are 2-1 up against Millwall, and that would be a fourth straight win. But Norwich in the Premier League, 3 straight wins. You'd take that, wouldn't you? Has that red card been rescinded? I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of VAR stuff. I don't know if the ref is being asked to check the Douglas Luiz red card in the Villa Palace game. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Yeah. And my powers of deduction are good, Daryl. Sounds like it has been overturned. Wealdstone 0, Stockport 2. Stuart Pearce used to play for Wealdstone, didn't he? So Douglas Luiz has not been red carded. Apparently, that has been overturned. No serious foul play. Any foul play? Any foul play at all? Did it go from a red to a yellow or a red to a nothing? Leeds look more solid with Forshaw in the side. Yeah, I think they possibly do. Yeah, I think I agree with that. John, very calm player, Forshaw, isn't he? Hearts 2, St Mirren 0. We are coming into the last, 75's just gone up in the Hearts game. We've got a 4th goal at Hillsborough, Sheffield Wednesday 2, Wycombe 2, and we're way behind in this one, remember, medical emergency in the first half, but Wycombe have equalised. Wycombe are now level 2-2 at Hillsborough. Wednesday 2, Wycombe 2. Jordan Obita, former Reading left wing-back, I believe. Obita has scored and made it 2-2 in that very crowded, very competitive top 8 in League One. So they're on 65 minutes. They've just gone to Emma Saunders at Hillsborough. So they are a fair way behind, probably 10 minutes behind in terms of all the rest of the games. A red down to 11th. Red down to a yellow. Thank you, Daryl. The game at Lincoln kicked off at 3:14. Well, there you go. They're even further behind. There's your Brighton team there. Thank you, Logan. Sanchez, Lamptey, Cucurella, Dunk, Webster, Basuma, Mopai, Trossard, Grossmurder, and Veltman. Let me know if you're going to be watching Leeds and Brighton at 5:30. I suspect I'll be waiting for a takeaway and watching a movie as soon as possible. I think my football allowance will be used up by 5 p.m. today. I think Doncaster's allowance has run out for today as well. Burton 2. Don't know, it's not. It's been disallowed. I will be quiet. Sean, insane how Accrington continue to survive in League One. They very, very much punch their weight, don't they? Good, a good competitive club, Accrington, who, yeah, when you look at size and you see the likes of Sheffield Wednesday turning up and having more fans in the away end than in the home end. Apparently, we do now have a goal at Burton. I don't know whether that was the same incident or not, but yeah, let's go where I was going to go and say that, yeah, Doncaster are cooked in this one. Burton 2, Doncaster 0 on 76 minutes. Burton 2, Doncaster 0. Oh, well, when Luton equalised, you would have been forgiven for thinking, will that game now swing in their favour? No. Luton 1, Cardiff 2. And Steve Morrison's burgeoning Cardiff career may be getting another win. Salford 2, Oldham 0. Sean Morrison. Wow. The Cardiff, must be the captain, mustn't he? Cardiff centre-half there. Morrison, so we assume has scored from a set play, has scored for Cardiff. Did Burton score? I'm not seeing a Burton goal up on my screen. I've got lots of notifications. We think Burton may have gone 2-0 up. We'll keep our powder dry on that one. We do know that Cardiff have gone 2-1 up against Luton. Let's just have a look at the bottom of the Championship table, and it doesn't look good for the bottom. I mean, it never looks good for the bottom three, frankly. But in context, with a bit of nuance, yes. Daniel Jebison, the on loan Sheffield United youngster, has scored for Burton. But yeah, have a look at that bottom three now. Posh and Barnsley are level. So Posh could close up to within 2 points of Reading, of course. However, there's a 4-point gap opening out there. Reading are winning, Cardiff are winning, and Hull are winning. It is the worst case scenario for the bottom three. The three teams directly above are all winning. And as you can imagine, down in the bottom six, that's a rarity. We don't normally get three winners anywhere near the bottom six, do we? On any specific game week. But yeah, not looking good. Luke McCormick has scored for Wimbledon. Wimbledon 2, Fleetwood 1. It looked like Fleetwood were going to have a caretaker. Fleetwood got a new manager. Someone tell me. I assume they've got caretaker, have they? A caretaker manager bounce, but no, that bounce only lasts one half, and Wimbledon have turned it around, and they are 2-1 up. We're coming into the last 10 minutes now in many of our games, the last 10 minutes of normal time. And there is an opening goal in one of our Championship games on 81 minutes. Birmingham have taken the lead. It's Birmingham 1, Blackpool 0. Blues lead at St Andrews. It's taken them 81 minutes to get in front. Does that mean 3 points for Birmingham, I wonder? They've only got 10 minutes to hold out now. Birmingham 1, Blackpool 0. We will await the goal scorer. I think we're going to get it very, very imminently on Sky. Guy Havord is talking through that goal as we get more goals in Scotland for Lothian Thistle, one for Yeovil against Dover and one for Stirling Albion against Tranent Juniors. But who scored for Birmingham then? Alloa have scored against Bonnie Rig Rose. As usual, having great fun up in Scotland. Who scored for Birmingham, guys? Nope, they're determined not to tell me. Let's see if I can click on here and find it. Birmingham 1, Blackpool 0. Goal scorer, please. Nope. This information eludes me still. Lukas Jutkiewicz, of course. Well, I say of course. They've gone with Hogan and Deeney lately, but the year is 2021, and Lukas Jutkiewicz is seemingly as effective as ever. Scoring. Was it back post header? Always is with Jutkiewicz, isn't it? Birmingham 1, Blackpool 0. Impressive from MK today. Morecambe 0, MK 4. They are the most convincing winners in League One, I believe. 4-0 up now, MK. Did we put the Birmingham goal up there? Yes, we did. So, let's go to some comments. Blue scores, and I didn't see it because I was putting my brew down. Very nice, Jay. Matt O'Reilly, I think he scored earlier on. Oh, interesting now. Now, we knew that Jeff Lerma had been sent off on 68 minutes or something, wasn't it? It's now Bournemouth 2, Coventry 1. So, Coventry have got one back, and they're playing against 10 men. Bournemouth 2, Coventry 1. We will await the Coventry scorer, but remember, that could be a tough last few minutes now for... It's an 85th minute goal, so they've got 5 minutes then plus stoppage time. But they've got to do it with 10 men. And what have Coventry got to lose, really? They're going to lose the game anyway as things stand. They're playing against 10. They may as well go for it. Matt Godden is the goal scorer. He must have scored about 4 or 5 since Victor Gyökeres last scored for Coventry. He's the one getting the goals now. Matt Godden, indeed. Jukovic, left-footed shot. Well, there you go. No back post header for me. Super Matty Godden is indeed the goal scorer for Bournemouth. Not for Bournemouth, against Bournemouth, for Coventry. You knew what I meant. Lots of stuff going on. Right, let's do a quick reset as we go into the last 5 minutes of most of our games. Let's not do that because there's literally just been a goal. A 4th goal at AFC Wimbledon. It's now 2-2 there. Fleetwood are, as it stands, not going to be losing today because they've equalised. Fleetwood and no new manager bounce as well. I'm informed that there's no new name been installed yet. So it would be a caretaker manager bounce, wouldn't it? If you believe in that nonsense. There we go. Wimbledon 2, Fleetwood 2. Let's get that updated. And we will reset. Let's have a little look through where everything is. There's still plenty of games. Callum Johnson is the scorer for Fleetwood. There's still plenty of games where a goal would change the outcome. It's Palace 0, Villa 1 still. Stevie Gerrard looking for 2 straight wins. Liverpool 4, Saints 0. Norwich 0, Wolves 0. Norwich pushing from what we heard. They're looking for a 3rd straight win. We've had the Brighton and Leeds teams come through in the chat. That kicks off at 5:30. Earlier in the Championship in the 12:30, it was Preston 1, Fulham 1, which gives Bournemouth the chance to go top. They're currently in the lead 2-1 against Coventry. However, Coventry have just scored and they've been down to 10 for a fair wee while. Since minute 68, was it? Jeff Lerma was red carded for Bournemouth. Birmingham 1. Blackpool 0. That one's only just gone in, hasn't it? 81st minute, I think Jukovic scored for Blues. Huddersfield 0, Borough 2. Chris Wilder only has a few more minutes to wait, and he's going to get his first win as Borough manager. Hull 2, Millwall 1. Incredible. Hull would be a 4th straight victory. Incredible. Luton 1, Cardiff 2. Sean Morrison and Ruben Coyle have scored there for Cardiff. They are 5 minutes away from a away win at the Kenny. Posh 0, Barnsley 0, and we were saying about it being doomsday scenario down the bottom there. Posh and Barnsley are 2nd bottom and 3rd bottom respectively, and all the 3 teams above them are winning. Crystal Palace 0, Aston Villa 2. Looks like Villa, up the dearly departed, are going to get the win. Today, they've just gone 2-0 up on 86 minutes. Clinton Morrison's going like that. I assume he means game over. We'll update that. We'll just quickly rattle through the rest of the scorelines and then hopefully we'll hear more about the Villa goal. Villa are winning today, aren't they? They're 2-0 up with just minutes to go now, 86 on the clock, and they've just extended their lead, doubled their lead, however you want to describe it. Right, quickly. Sorry, I was going through the scorelines. Stoke 0, Blackburn 1, Swansea 2, Reading 3. Balmy game there. down at the Swansea.com stadium in League One. Wimbledon 2, Fleetwood 2, Bolton 2, Cheltenham 2, Burton 2, Doncaster 0, Cambridge 1, Sunderland 2. John McGinn was the goal scorer for Aston Villa. Scottish central midfielder on target on 86. Villa look like they're going to win. Gills 0, Pompey 0, Morecambe 0, MK 4. Impressive. Oxford 0, Rotherham 0. Still be a winner in that one. Big game. Plymouth 1, Wigan 1. Wednesday 2, Wycombe 2. Big delay on that one, 10 minutes behind. Shrews 0, Charlton 0. And Lincoln 0, Accrington 1. But they're even further behind there. Kicked off 15 minutes past the rest of the games. Don't they? Right. Power cut at Peterborough. What's going on? What is going on, I wonder? Lights out at Posh. That's not good, is it? As we always say, someone put a quid in the meter there. Davey, yeah, floodlights gone off at Peterborough. I wonder what on earth's going on there. I know we've had some pretty dreadful weather. I'm not a million miles from Peterborough here, but I wouldn't say I'm close. But, you wonder if that's affected anything there. And we're coming into the last minutes now and stoppage time and whatnot around our games. Where are the late goals coming, you lot? There's always late goals. 20-minute delay at Peterborough. Lights have fallen asleep. It's been that bad. Well, there you go. Again, I know nothing about why the Posh floodlights have gone out. We will find out all in due course, won't we? We are coming up to our 90th minute. Look, there is the illustrious Shaylee. One floor down. Hey all, just on so Enid. Or so is Enid, I think, can watch Daddy for a bit. Say hello to Enid, everybody in the chat. I assume that means she's awake. Hello, Enid, my darling. I love you. My good missus and my daughter. Still feels weird saying that, doesn't it? Hey? Dan, can fill one at Cov. Coventry chasing against 10-man Bournemouth in that one. Another Saturday, another medical emergency. It's every week, isn't it, Jeff, now? Don't know what's going on. Finish the game now. If only I had that power, Robert, hey? But yeah, I think Robert's a Birmingham guy, isn't he? Lots of hellos to Enid. There we go. 4 minutes added time at Hull. Hull looking for a fourth straight victory, having won. I think they had 2 wins all season going into that 4-game run. God, it's windy here. Feels like my roof's about to blow off my house. We are into stoppage time now in most of the games. Just gone to Matt Murray, and it's sort of 92 minutes at Hull. Where are the late goals coming from? Oh, there's one at Plymouth. Ouch. Plymouth 1, Wigan 2. Does that put Wigan top of League One? Let's jump straight to the live League One table. I think Wigan might have just jumped all the way to the top in the last minute. How's the goal difference? It's so close. I think Rotherham are just going to be top on goal difference, but Wigan, huge goal for them in the last minute. Wigan have just taken the lead down at Plymouth. We're going to wait for that one to be confirmed. Also, I think I just scored. Did I see Portsmouth have scored, or did I just see that Gillingham had scored? We're getting some late goals. They're all in League One. Callum Lang is the goal scorer for Wigan, which is going to put them joint top on points. Little bit of a jump there in the very, very last minute with a very, very late winner. Goals are flying in League One in stoppage time. Shrewsbury have just scored in the 90th minute as well to go 1-0 up against Charlton, was it Pompey scored or did Gillingham score? There's been 3 90th minute goals, all in League One. I think Pompey scored. Yes. Oh, Jack Tucker, 93rd minute own goal is going to give Pompey the win. Huddersfield have just got one back. Late goal. We wondered whether there'd be any late goals. There's been plenty. So Huddersfield have scored at against Borough. Oh, Coventry have equalised. Wow! Bournemouth 2, Coventry 2. We said when it went down to 10 men, could Coventry do it? There's your big late goal. And that is going to take Bournemouth off the top of the Championship. And one of the last goals we're going to talk about is going to put Fulham back on the top of the Championship. Coventry have equalised. Huge story there against Bournemouth. Luke Daniels' own goal for Huddersfield. Carlisle have scored a late winner, we think, against Walsall. And Todd Kane has scored in the 95th minute for Coventry. And it is Bournemouth 2, Coventry 2. And the slowdown at the top of the table continues. I think I saw Hull go through as a full-time score. Late goals flying in. Let me just put the Huddersfield one on as well, because it's Huddersfield 1, Borough 2. But yeah, the biggest late goal, biggest story there is the Coventry equaliser, which knocks Bournemouth off the top of the table in the 95th minute. We wondered whether that might happen when Jeff Lerma went. It all got a bit more tangible when it went back to 2-1 when Godden scored an 85. And 10 minutes later, in the 95th minute, so 5 minutes into stoppage time, Todd Kane with the equaliser. Woof. Absolute woof. They've just gone to Darren Bent on Sky. 93 gone at the Carrow. No, it's all over. 0-0. I'm sure Dean Smith would have taken 4 points from his first 2 games as Norwich manager. Norwich draw 0-0, a clean sheet and a point for the Canaries. Goodness me. Coventry are comeback kings this season, and Hull have indeed won. Hull have won 4 games in a row, and I think Grant McCann's going to win Manager of the Month, isn't he? What a run by Hull. Right, full times are flying in now. Obviously, the big story there in stoppage time was the late goal. Crystal Palace have got one back against Villa. That's gone back to 2-1. Squeaky bum time for Stevie Gerrard. I think Birmingham 1, Blackpool 0 has gone through as well. And let's try and figure out how many full times we've got. I'm just going to hit refresh on Sofa Score. Full time Swansea 2, Reading 3. Championship, everybody. Who would have thunk it? Hey, great win for Reading. So Palace have just got one back against Aston Villa. Otherwise, full time earlier, Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0, Liverpool 4, Saints 0, Norwich 0, Wolves 0. They're all full times. Mark Gay, that goal came on the 95th minute, so it would be a hell of a late show. In the Championship, it looks like, other than the delayed game for the floodlights going out at Peterborough, looks like everything else has finished other than Stoke 0, Blackburn 1. Remember, Blackburn are going 4th, maybe temporarily, of course, QPR play on Monday night. But Blackburn, as things stand, are going 4th. If they can hold out and win at Stoke. And Luton 1, Cardiff 2. Remember, there's this doomsday scenario for the bottom 3 where all of the teams, in fact, that has just gone through. Luton 1, Cardiff 2 is indeed a full-time score. Big win for Wigan in League One as well. That has just gone through. Callum Lang scoring in the last minute to win for Wigan, who I don't know whether they've gone above Rotherham. Let me just pull up the league table. Level on points. So, yeah, Rotherham just got them by 3 on the goal difference. Well, any more late goals? No more late goals at Selhurst. And Stevie Gerrard has won his first 2 games as Villa manager. Brilliant start by the brilliant Liverpool player back in the day, former Rangers manager. David, Birmingham win. Disappointed not to make it. Well, take the 3 points, hey. Small mercies. Iain, not our best today, but an away point arrival has to be positive. And you've held out top of the table there. Iain is a Rotherham fan. Let's see how many more. Think we're fully up to date, aren't we, on everything? Any more late goals? Obviously, they're still going to be playing at Peterborough probably until about 9 o'clock by the sounds of it. Lincoln and Accrington and Sheffield Wednesday and Wickham are going to be late ones. But let's bang through what we deem to be all of the full-time scores now. And we'll just keep an eye on those games that have been delayed. So Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0, Palace 1, Villa 2, Liverpool 4, Saints 0, Norwich 0, Wolves 0, Brighton and Leeds play at 5:30, Preston 1, Fulham 1, Birmingham 1, Blackpool 0, Bournemouth 2, Coventry 2, 95th minute equaliser for Cov, came back from 2 down to take a point from 10-man Bournemouth. Huddersfield 1, Borough 2, first win for Chris Wilder, Hull 2, Millwall 1, Luton 1, Cardiff 2. Posh and Barnsley are going to go the distance, aren't they? Floodlight failure there. It looks like they're going again by the sounds of it. Stoke 0, Blackburn 1. Blackburn up to 4th. Swansea 2, Reading 3 in League 1. It looks like Wimbledon 2, Fleetwood 2 is still going. Bolton 2, Cheltenham 2, Burton 2, Doncaster 0. Cambridge 1, Sunderland 2, Gillingham 0, Pompey 1. Morecambe 0, MK 4. Oxford 0, Rotherham 0. Big late winner for Wigan. Plymouth 1, Wigan 2. Huge goal, that by Callum Lang at the end. Sheffield Wednesday 2, Wickham 2. They're still going. Medical emergency delayed the end of the first half. Shrews 1, Charlton 0. Late win for Shrewsbury. Lincoln 0, Stanley 1. Again, that one kicked off 15 minutes late. Let's have a quick scan of the Premier League table, assuming SofaScore is working properly and has added all of it up. Just look at our dearly departed teams. Villa up to 11th. Great news for them. Back-to-back victories. Brentford, Watford, Leeds, 15th, 16th, 17th. Although none of them play, they'll play from now until the end of the round. Norwich, 7 points in 3, 4 points in 2 for Dean Smith. They will be happy enough with that one. They drew 0-0 against the Wolves. In the Championship, let's hope this table all adds up because sometimes they go a little bit glitchy, don't they? Fulham back to the top of the league after, we thought they were going to get the win. That points total doesn't add up, does it? It's been glitchy again. I think Bournemouth should have 42 points, shouldn't they? So I don't think that league table's correct. So maybe we're going to have to plead the fifth. Whilst, Bournemouth should be on 20 games. So should, okay. We will ignore the SofaScore live league table because it ain't working properly, is it? So look, we're going to revise all of that stuff and look at that on tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Championship review. Remember, still a couple of games to go. Sheffield United and Bristol City and Derby host QPR on Monday night. Thank you very, very much, everybody, for watching. That's been the first Saturday Super Stream for a while. Do you know what? There's a small chance we might be able to get one done as well next week. Right, I'm going to see what good old Boris, the Prime Minister, has got to say. And I'll wish you all a big farewell and a lovely over and out from the Saturday Super Stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.